Okay, Ashton, hi. You just finished watching Deutsch für euch, the episode on counting, which introduced you to all of the numbers. As I said in the little comment at the very beginning, these are also written in your spiral on the very first page of chapter Erste Kontakte. Make sure you're studying that spelling. On that page, you have a bunch of things. Let me show you really quick on the screen. You have all of the numbers, and they have a bunch of things bolded for you. Those specific things are weirdnesses in spelling. So whenever something irregular is happening, that is what they're showing you. And the other thing that is not on this page is they are only going through the numbers 21 through 29 and then only the tens. So you have 30, 40, 50, 60. You still have to be able to construct the numbers that are like 51, 52, 53, and they always follow the same pattern that is shown here. I'm going to show you that first, and then we're going to do some practice with the numbers. So on the page, whoops, moved the wrong thing. Ignore what you're looking at. Okay. On the page, you had the number 21. So 21 was 21. So again, that means 1 and 20. So that's what she was talking about with the hot rule. You've got the hundreds, the ones, and the tens, right? So these two are backwards. So 21, and we have to have that on there. If you look at it very closely, look at the spelling of the number 1 on your page. We spelled that, eins. You're dropping that S. Okay, that S falls away whenever you're doing a combination. So if I have 31, if I'm looking at 31st, it's also spelled a little bit weird. We've got 30. And then how would I make 31? Okay, hopefully you got that. So it's 1 and 30. And again, we're going to drop that S. So it becomes 1 und 30. Okay, so same exact pattern. And the other one that's weird was the 6. So we have the number 16 and the number 6. So we have 6, the number 6. Whenever we say 16, we're going to drop that S. 16. And this sound changes. So we have 6 and 16. But then when we have that number in something, so if we have the number 6 within another number, so for example, 26. So again, we're going to go backwards. 6 and 20 is what we're going to say. And it's going to be 6 und 20. 6 und 20. Oops, sliding this up. So that S has to be there behind this. You can't just have it dropped. So it gets dropped in the 16, but it does not get dropped in the 20s, 30s, and so forth. So please give me a shot, or give this a shot really quick and see if you can do 36, 6, and 30. So that was 6 und 30. Okay, you should have already gone through and practiced writing a lot of these. I had assigned you before workbook page number 3, and you did exercise number AE2. That was where you were putting a bunch of your personal information, like your area code, your phone number, and your house number. And then you had gone through and you finished on page 5. You already should have finished that entire page, which is AE4. So that was looking at a bunch of cognates. This is what it was. Looking at a bunch of cognates, labeling them, and then putting down the number in a complete term. So you already did some practice when it comes to writing the numbers. And I'm going to come out there at some point and do a check on your spiral. But what I want you to do now is I want you to flip further back in your spiral, and we're going to look at a bunch of listening. Okay, so we're going to look at some listening activities for you. We're going to start on page 10. We're going to do activity HE5. That's the one on the bottom of that page. Okay, so you should be on that page. Okay, please make sure you're looking at the page that I now have up. So again, this is page 10, and this is the bottom of the page.
E5. Auf dem Flohmarkt. You and your friend Jennifer are at a flea market. At one stand, Jennifer wants to know the price of some items she may be interested in buying. Listen to Jennifer's questions and the seller's answers and write down the price of the items. Example. Jennifer asks,
Was kostet die Vase?
the seller answers, Die Vase kostet 12 Euro. You repeat and write, Die Vase kostet 12 Euro. Nummer 1.
Was kostet die Lampe?
Die Lampe kostet 17 Euro. Nummer 2.
Was kostet die Jacke?
Die Jacke kostet 23 Euro. Nummer 3.
Was kostet der Fußball?
Der Fußball kostet 16 Euro. Nummer 4.
Was kostet der Teddybär?
Der Teddybär kostet 6 Euro. Nummer 5.
Was kosten die Weingläser?
Die Weingläser kosten 37 Euro. Nummer 6.
Was kostet die Gitarre?
Die Gitarre kostet 45 Euro.
Okay, if you need to listen to it a second time in order to be able to do it, please do so. Go through one more time. I'm going to pause it here and put in the answers for you to double check them. Okay, so here are all the answers. We had 17, 23, 16, 6, 37, 45. Now, a couple of things. These are the common mistakes whenever you're spelling these things. Z-H-E-N, really common, not dropping the E-N on 17. And 20 instead of 20. So that's an A. It's not 20, it's 20. Okay, hopefully you did pretty well on that. Let me know if you still have questions. Okay, we're going to do a second one. I want you to flip the page. You're going to go to page 12, so one further. And we are going to do the very top of that page. That's exercise E7. And then we're going to review how to do phone numbers. So we're going to do this first. So flip to that page. It's the very top. Okay, so this is what you should be looking at. Okay, again, I'm going to play it only once, but if you need to listen to it more than once, please do.
E7. Ohne Taschenrechner bitte. Listen to some simple arithmetic problems. Respond to each one aloud and then write down the problem and the solution. Example. You hear,
Was ist 3 plus 7?
you say, 3 plus 7 ist 10. You write, 3 plus 7 ist 10. Nummer 1.
Was ist 2 plus 6?
Nummer 2.
Wie viel ist 15 plus 4?
Nummer 3.
Was ist 30 plus 12?
Nummer 4.
Wie viel ist 12 minus 3?
Nummer 5.
Was ist 70 minus 10?
Nummer 6.
Wie viel ist 100 minus 20?
E8.
Okay. Play it one more time if you didn't hear all of them. I'm going to pause it and write in the answers, and then you can double check your answers. So here are all the answers. We had 2 plus 6 ist 8, 15 plus 4 ist 19, 30 plus 12 ist 42, 12 minus 3 ist 9, 70 minus 10 ist 60, 100 minus 20 ist 80. Okay, hopefully you got all of those right. Okay, the very last thing that you need to know about numbers is in German we have weird ways of saying telephone numbers. So we have die Telefonnummer, the telephone number. That's one of your vocab words, by the way. Okay. Whenever we say phone numbers in German, we like to make them little pairs of numbers. So German phone numbers aren't standard. They don't have 3 digits, 4 digits. They're all different lengths. So you could have a number like this, 02506. Okay. If you're then trying to read this number and you're telling somebody else what it is, you are going to split these off into pairs. Sorry about that. You're going to split them off into pairs. Now I'm going to make it really simple whenever I quiz you on this and actually make them preset pairs, so you don't have to figure out where the lines go, but you're going to split them off. So you would say 0, 25, 06, because we cannot just ignore that that number is there, 5, 91. So that is the entirety of that phone number. So just to make it a really simple one for a second, I'm going to use one that the book has. And this does not come with an area code. This, by the way, right here is die Vorwahl. And that's the area code. In Germany, area codes always start with a 0 on the front. So this 21,599 would be 21 05 99. Okay, so make sure that you're reading the zeros and just make sure you're sticking them into pairs. And again, we've got die Telefonnummer und die Vorwahl. Okay, Vorwahl and telephone number. Okay, at this point, you are ready, as long as you've practiced writing your numbers. Please make sure you practice to take the quiz tomorrow. So tomorrow, during ACS, you are going to take the numbers quiz. It is going to be a lot of writing. It's going to take you probably about 20 minutes, and you have to write all of the numbers as words in the quiz, and you do have to do some math. It doesn't say this on the quiz, but make sure that anytime that you have done math to write the number for the solution in little parentheses for me, so that I know that it's not just that your math is off. If you have questions after you turn it in, just write them on the back. That way I can double check it. Thank you.